how many of you leave the water on when you brush your teeth? How about buying the best deal you could find in the store without bothering to check where it was made? Skipping classes every once in a while or forgetting to do your math homework? A year ago today, I was living in a state of ignorance. I thought I was making the maximum change I could, when really I was living the same lifestyle as everyone else around me. So what changed? Everything. In the summer of 2014, I went on a trip full of absolutely mind-blowing experiences. I went to Kenya to make a change, but in reality, Kenya made a change in me. Now, I wasn't some teenage ginger Dora the Explorer wandering the wilderness looking for somebody to help. I went with a youth delegation through Free the Children, an organization that I've been working with for many years. The organization has come up with 5 main goals while sustaining a village, and these 5 main goals work together to help support this community. These 5 main goals would also soon represent a new foundation on my life and self. So the first goal while sustaining our village is clean water. Water is clear, purifying, and a basic essential to any human life. This water has cleansed me of my ignorance. I can now finally say that I opened my eyes. This was the first pillar to a new me. The second pillar we just explored was the healthcare pillar. In my area, there were already 2 health clinics, Kishan and Baraka. Kishan was made for dental and optical care, and Baraka was made for maternity. The word Baraka literally translates to blessing in their native language, Swahili. Having these opportunities has given these people a sense of hope. Before, when they fell ill, it was all up to luck and fate if they were going to make it out alive. Now they know that they can reach out and have someone help them. That same hope is now part of me. I now know that when I get frustrated or when I get down along the way, I know I can reach out and someone's going to help me up. The third pillar that we explored was the alternative income pillar. Now instead of the mom was having to sell their children off to slavery, they can make traditional Maasai pieces and give them to people over here in North America. Having this has given these people a sense of pride. They can now lift their heads up high, saying that they are supporting for their community in safe and sufficient ways. That same pride is part of me. I am proud to be wearing these artisans. I am proud to believe that I can change the world, and I am very proud of this new me. The fourth pillar we explored was the agriculture pillar. The goal is to provide safe methods of growth for everyone in the community. Without this, the entire community would falter. You wouldn't be able to feed the kids when they go to school or feed them when they get home. Having this has given these people a sense of security. They can now go to bed at night knowing that they have done the absolute best they can with these new farms. I can now go to bed at night knowing that I have made another little change that day, which is something that I strive to do every single day of my life. The fifth pillar, and the one that I feel is most important, is the education pillar. In my community, there are already multiple elementary schools and 2 all-girl high schools, Kisaruni and Ololeshwa. These schools has given these children ambition, knowledge, and inspiration. You could go up to any student there, ask them what they wanted to be when they grew up, and they would tell you without any hesitation. I met kids who aspired to be doctors, lawyers, geologists, you name it. These kids have never taken their education for granted, which is something that I am not able to say. These students are the main reason that I'm standing before you today. This was the final piece to the puzzle. A new me and a new community have become a reality. But I would say there are 2 specific experiences and 2 specific people that made the biggest impact. So it's the 4th day that we're there, and I found out that we'll be participating in the water walk. We drive down to the elementary schools, fill up the jerry cans, and carry the 50 pounds back on our heads for 45 minutes. When I get to the mama's house, I can't help but notice a small girl with the smaller one in her arms. I walk over, ask for her picture, and I get this shot. I start asking this young girl questions, like, what school does she go to? What grade is she in? She doesn't go to school. How old is she? She doesn't know. She's never celebrated a birthday. Then I learned the young girl's name. This young girl is named Elizabeth. Her mother guesses she's around 10 years old, and in her arms is her little sister, Lydia. At this point, I'd already seen the typical living accommodations and met lots of kids. But what really struck me with her was the fact that we shared the same name. I immediately put everything into perspective. This is her house. This is mine. This is her living room. This is mine. I couldn't even take a picture of her bedroom or kitchen because the only light source was a small ventilation hole molded into the mud hut wall. Elizabeth is one of the most caring, beautiful, and strong girls I have ever met. Elizabeth has changed my life. Fast forward about a week, I find myself on one of the all-girl high school grounds. I look over and I see a group of mamas beating for income. I go over and just begin to have a conversation with them, but I soon learned that they can't understand me. This new education hadn't been put in place when they were children, so they never got the opportunity to learn English, and unfortunately, I wasn't quite fluent in Swahili yet. A few of the high school girls noticed us struggling, walked over, and decided to help us translate. The mama soon had to leave, and this led to a full conversation with the high school girls, one of them named Jacqueline. Kisaruni only let 40 girls in when they opened the school. Jacqueline was number 38. She was so close to not making it in, and when she found out that she was absolutely ecstatic. This past January, those original 40 girls walked across the stage with their heads held high, shook their principal's hand, and received their high school diploma. These girls worked so hard to gain the respect that they earn in their community, and these girls, the joy that education has given these girls is something that I will never forget. Jacqueline has changed my life. I would be lying to you if I said that it was an easy transition. Going from a community full of life and laughter, everyone stopping to say hello, then coming home, a community almost non-existent, no one really bothering with you. I came home the day before my sweet 16. I remember crying myself to sleep and then crying as soon as I woke up. I think everyone was confused as to why I was so sad. I mean, I was at a great restaurant full of friends and family who loved me, but honestly, I had never felt more alone. People were asking me questions like, so how was it? Or what did you do? Or my personal favorite, how are you still alive? I was confused, frustrated, and extremely overwhelmed. People always ask me, weren't you scared to travel that far away? But honestly, I was 1,000,000 times more scared to come home than I ever was to go there. I would say that as soon as I said goodbye to my group in the airport, I immediately lost my new perspective. I no longer felt safe or hopeful. I wasn't proud. I was scared of this person I had become. This new me all came with time. I began seeing these new emotions and reflecting them into the pillars. I would say that I did the most learning when I got home. We need to support these issues wholeheartedly or else we won't get anywhere. So you're passionate about clean water, then turn the water off when you brush your teeth. Start having staggered showers. You're passionate about fair trade, eliminating sweatshops, then do your research, check your labels, buy local. Passionate about education, then stop taking yours for granted. I hear way too often, I hate school or I don't care. So many kids would die for the education you have been given. Find your ambition, find your inspiration, and let it drive you. This needs to happen, and it needs to happen now. I promise you, people will notice. We will start a chain reaction. I went into this thinking that I was going to meet some locals, help out with some building, come home, and that was that. I went to Kenya to make a change, but in reality, Kenya made a change in me. Asante sana. Thank you very much.